You are a lawyer. Tell us as a lawyer.
You should help us out.
The difference between this one now and the one that
with the way things are now, it looks like I am in an enemy camp. So Lord, that it will power what you want to do.
Okay, my people, don't get it twisted, eh? Let me just borrow your time. I will allow you to listen to the message from beginning to the end. It's a very long message, but maybe we can cut it. But what I want to tell you, part of the thing that have been discussed on this message, that was why it is good you watch the message from beginning to the end. One is that Uzodinma to vacate government house of Imo State. In other words, he have been forced to resign from that governorship. From that governor seat in Imo State. Is that a good news or a bad news? To me, to the whole Biafrans, to the whole Imolite, it's a very great news. It is part of the thing that makes me to bring this message to you. The interactions, how some people are validating what Tegumi says on live TV over the welfare of terrorists in Nigeria. Don't forget, Mazen Nnamdi Kanu warned earlier hand that this is what is going to happen. Gumi and his boys are being praised on national TV, while Nnamdi Kanu is now the one that is suffering for the sins that the Gumi boys are committing, both in Biafra land and in northern part of the country. Maybe you are not aware that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu was used as a scapegoat. What is happening in our land are the plans and the orchestrated plans of Sheikh Ahmed Gumi. Don't forget when he told the federal government that the only way to destroy IPOB is to raise an army within the same IPOB against itself. In other words, advising them to use Igbo youths, recruit them into whatever means you like to fight IPOB. That is how they keep on pirating ESN every now and then. And Uzodinma is the one that is in forefront of this. Uzodinma is the master plan behind every insecurity in that Biafra land. Uzodinma is a wicked and very useless politician. A Yahoo politician. Uzodinma that is using, seeing face to face to meet clients. Jesana Hego. He is the brain behind in the whole of the southeast and south. There's no any politician that as deadly as Uzodinma. In case you don't know, go and ask questions. That thing that Wike is doing, forget about Wike. Forget about Wike. Wike don't know politics. The only thing Wike have is money and power. That is not politics. He uses money to endorse people. If na power you command, it happen. Not when you use money to buy everybody. That is not politics. Uzodinma is the deadly one. So, the reason why I bring this message is for us to listen what is going to happen. In fact, celebration is supposed to rock Biafra land. That the chief instigator of Fulani herdsmen attack. They deployed over 50 ISWAP fighters the other day to Futo. Uzodinma is behind it. At night, these guys enter. During the daytime, they unleash mayhem. He is a very deadly politician. So, if he is resigning, it needs to be celebrated. If you don't know, just know it now. We need to celebrate that landslide victory. Let me call it that. Let me just put it that way. At least, whether Imo State go feel, at least calm down for a moment. Oh, all those people that are being pied in Imo State and Enugu State, they are people's brothers, sisters, uncles, people's sons and daughters, people mothers, people fathers, uncles, people breadwinners, people senior brothers. Some newly wedded by pregnant woman is not safe. Our kids are not safe. Let us listen to this message. And you must have one or two things to say.
He just did it. And because nobody confronted you, it becomes what? A trend. That is what you're saying. That I will not remain silent. Let you be said here now that these things are we propose that will cause problem for us. Already the one we proposed yesterday is causing problem now.
I get your point.
The one we proposed yesterday is causing problem now. There is nothing like that.
So he can go ahead.
He cannot go ahead since we are not provided for. That's what I'm telling you here. Don't make law to favor you for the immediate. How about the future? That's what I'm talking about here. I told you that you come and give account of all the young men that died under his watch in Imo State.
So he will still give account because he doesn't have a new.
That is what we are following. Because it happened in Lagos, that will happen in Nigeria.
No, that's not our position.
There is no way a high-class, first-class chief will die and you bury him like a peasant in the village.
Darlington Adumwo, who is a lawyer and, of course, a public affairs commentator. Gentlemen, welcome.
Good morning.
Good morning. Welcome. Now let's dive into it. We do have different dailies we'll be touching on. Let's start off with the Vanguard newspaper, and these are the headlines here from the cover page, from the pages of the Vanguard. APC primaries. Okowa, Abiodun, Uzodinma win. Ned Nwoko go J. Others lose. Well, that's the big story on the cover page of the Vanguard newspaper. And we're having this conversation just before the cameras started rolling, about those who've won in their different parties in the states, I beg your pardon, in their different states within the APC. And, Nigerians are already reacting to the primaries and how they were held. We see that in Borno State, incumbents retained their tickets, including Usman Zana, Aliyu Betara, Ahmed Satomi, Ahmed Jaha, Buka Talba. And then if you go to Edo State, Julius Sihobere lost.
Is Udumi no longer in the card?
Uduma is there.
In Borno?
Well, he's.
I heard he made it, or he didn't.
Okay. Well, I can't find his name here.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
Julius Ihobere lost in Edo State. Yusuf Gadi lost in Plateau. Nicholas Mutu, a long-serving lawmaker from Delta, lost the APC ticket. Eselsa Iyawe lost in Edo. Miriam Onoha lost in Imo. Harrison Wadike, also in Imo, lost. Emeka Martins from Imo lost. From Kebbi, Mansur Musa Jega lost. And then 4 incumbents lost in Jigawa. 5 sitting lawmakers reportedly lost in Cross River. 5 incumbents also failed in Ogun State primaries. And the Ogun State, quite interesting because prior to the primaries, initially it was consensus, and we heard they chose the incumbent.
And there is a clause that if consensus fails, you go to
we're arguing over.
But the only sad thing about it is Deltans are not fair at all. They are not fair. Somebody who promised them that he's going to create an enormous state, they couldn't return. Where will he create that state now? That is no longer in the Senate.
He had just 3 people.
I was just wondering.
Listen, gentlemen, for me, what you are discussing here is not politics. Seriously, we are not in a democracy. It baffles me how individuals will decide your political fate, not even the people again. Seriously, we are setting a very bad precedent here. No thanks to APC. It is no longer about the people. One man can decide what will happen in the state, and everybody just discussing without talking about it. We are seriously 50 years behind the human race. 50 years.
Barrister, this man has been deciding it in Lagos is the session of this democracy.
Please, and you people validated it. That's why it has continued even at Abuja.
And the man is in Abuja. So it's not dictating around the whole nation.
It is you and I that caused him. We didn't say no to this rubbish. We never said. We never said no to this type of nonsense.
This is not how saying no. What we are discussing
this is not how democracy is run. Please, we are passing rubbish to our children. Complete rubbish. That is what we are following. Because it happened in Lagos, that will happen in Nigeria.
No, that's not our position.
It's not our position, but we're just telling you that it has been
from somewhere.
Yes,
This is how the primaries.
We're just reviewing the primaries.
We'll now come back. Is it the right thing to do?
I won't even join you in discussing it because I know that
But you're already discussing it.
This list has not ended. Okay. You know those who were not who were screened out during the screening, but yesterday they came in, 2 of us. That means at every point in time they will decide, okay, you didn't pass, you didn't go to the screen. Oh, yeah, come in. Eh? Well, is that what you call screening?
No, that is part of the discussion.
You are not discussing it.
This is APC screening
primaries.
As a matter of fact, the electorate does not have anything to do with the primaries.
It's party affairs.
Party affairs.
We are waiting
the party will now.
So if the party pushes somebody that is not popular, then the electorate will vote that person out. So simple.
That's why we are calling for credibility.
If it were to be a one-party state now that we are going to election with, it will be a different thing. But you have exactly.
Why are there protests? If you did not get it right with the primaries, there's no way the election proper will be proper.
What we should be talking here is that we will not drink Panadol
for somebody's headache.
This is APC headache. If there is credible election Moses, we would have waited for them at the poll.
Exactly.
They can pick whatever they want to pick, any nonsense. But there are other parties that will say, okay, this is our preferred candidate. That's what we should have. That's why we are calling on. Our Mukuton should give us credible.
Now you know another thing. You know why I'm happy about all these things that is playing out now is because the same Neduwoko and the rest of them that lost now were in the National Assembly when they closed the gate of transfer window after primaries.
And even the electoral
before now, if you lose in primary, you can go and grab another ticket elsewhere. But now that person would have to wait.
They are all stopped.
They are all stopped.
4 years time.
But they made the law thinking that it was going to benefit them. Now the law turned around to deal with them.
Even at that,
so
is that
for
the right
me,
law?
But the point is, APC primary is APC primary.
Yes.
If anybody feels discontent, we have seen people, MPDP worked against PDP in 2015. So if you are aggrieved,
G5 to work against PDP.
Exactly. So if you are aggrieved during the general election, you can show your grievance by moving your structure to support another party candidate. Yes. To show them that next time you don't do this kind of thing.
And that will serve as deterrent.
Yes, in my constituency, you know those things. Ondo Central. The incumbent senator, a son, felt he was costing home. But they profiled him within the party and told him, come and tell us what you have done in the last 4 years. The man didn't sponsor a bill. The constitutional allowances that came to him, there was no show for it in the constituency. Now, they had to pick Fashion Artist son, who was SSG, that the community...
Well, at some point he said it is not yet turn for the Igbo president. And so the Igbos told him, it's not yet turn for the Senate president.
The man did it just to dominate that senatorial zone. That's all. He did it to dominate that place.
He did what?
What he said he's doing for your senatorial zone, that what he couldn't do as a governor, he's now doing it for you people.
But that's the president of democracy.
At least he's doing something.
Yes.
No. That is not true. That is not the only reason why you should validate him. He did 8 years in Abia.
Okay.
Nothing happened there, and you are not talking about that.
I said I wasn't his fan as a governor.
Yes, but as a senator, he has done something.
As your senator,
if he has done something, what do the people expect from the people they voted to bring dividend of democracy? And the man has brought dividend of democracy. So what else do you want him?
If he has used the state fund to come and dominate his senatorial zone, what is the success about that?
What is the dominance?
Yes, now because you are there. He's there forever. He has been there forever, true or false?
He's not been there forever. He's not going for the third term.
Are you serious?
He's not going for the third term.
Joe Biden spent about 35 years
in the
Senate.
We have had someone who spent like 41 years.
That is where democracy was, for God's sake.
We are building democracy of America. That college system will invalidate majority votes.
Not under APC.
Is that democracy?
We are not building anything here.
And there is not perfect democracy in the world.
Let us start from somewhere. The
level we are now is what we are still. This is the best we can get out of the level we are. By the time we also move forward,
starting from somewhere.
I don't think
where I was even headed was that Uzo wants to become Senate president. Peradventure, they say, well, the South produces president, the North the vice president, then Senate
president comes back to the South.
So
and if the Southeast or Southwest cannot produce the same geopolitical, cannot produce the Senate president and president.
Exactly.
So that's the calculation of Uzodinma.
So he wants to be Senate president. Your governor, Uzodinma, also wants to be Senate president. You never can tell which other senator from the Southeast is angling to become Senate president. So it's going to be very interesting.
Only your senatorial zone will not support you.
He said?
Only your senatorial zone.
For this?
Only your senatorial zone will not vote
for. He got the ticket.
So he's going to resign before.
He's going to resign.
Yes, he has agreed to resign.
Oh.
Okay.
Can you imagine?
And you think?
And that is Agomwa's governor. He's not even.
You are not talking about your governor resigning to go to the Senate.
Ask yourself why you want to run away.
No, you should tell us. They're asking you.
Because we told him that you come and give account of all the young men that died under his watch in Imo State.
This is where the conversation is so much interesting. Hope want to run away from his shadows. Please listen and listen attentively. After this, I'm going to cut the message short, because this is the more reason why I bring this message to you, so that you know who to hold accountable. Because Hope have already told the whole world, and those ones who cares to listen, that the insecurity in Imo State precisely is not done by IPOB, ESN, or Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, or Autopilot, or whoever. That it is them, the politicians, they are the one behind the killings. So as it stands now, he want to run away, because if he waited until his tenure is over in 2028, there will be no room for him to hide. He will become like so open a prey, very easy to grab. So he want to run away from his shadows. He want to run away from his sins. Do you know why? Because the Biafra government, spearheaded by Ngozi Orebeze, have wrote solace of letters to him, telling him that we are waiting for you after 2028. You don't know that, right? I'm breaking the news to you. The Biafra Defense Force also have sent message to him. You are being covered with immunity and all manner of ammunitions, because you are the governor. You have immunity. We are waiting for you after 2028. After 2028. So all these things is even part of the thing that push him to make all those confessions, and also make a declaration inside a church with one heavy Bible that's bigger than his head, that now the church and God have forgiven him. So the people of Imo State must, it is not under probability, he made it very clear, say, you people must forgive me because God have forgiven me. Because they know that the Bible, nothing is inside the Bible. Which God is inside the Bible that forgive you after buying almost half of Imo State? When we talk now, the people will tell you, you are daring God, you are daring God. There is nothing inside that Bible. Inside that church, nobody, nothing. Not even a forensic is inside there. And when I talk now, I said, the God is a merciful God that allows somebody to waste blood that they cannot move. You can only manufacture children based on your capacity as a family man, not to manufacture as a villager. But all these ones, you buy all of them, and then you tell me your God is a merciful God that will forgive you. Let me tell you what is happening to Nigeria now, or Nigerians. It is the same thing that Bible said is what Nigerian government implemented, and people are shouting. But you, that use religion to cover your head and your thinking and your brain will tell you that, oh, if somebody sin and then confess to God, God is going to forgive him because God is a merciful God and give him a second chance. Now the same second chance that they give Boko Haram to, now what in Bible talk, now they do. Now when they complain, say now the Pente Boko Haram, they forgive them. But now what in Bible talk? I be that one day different. Yes. They have sinned, they have killed people, they have kidnapped people, they have ravaged the economy of the country. And now they have been repented and they have been forgiven. That is what Bible said. And that is what Christians are practicing. So now, the Muslims now, our Nigerian government have borrowed that doctrine to put it into the system and they begin to work for them. But you, that's only think about religion, don't even know that there's a practical part to what the Bible is told you. Or rather, to what your Bible God told you. That he who is in Christ is a new creature and all things are passed away. Where you murdered blood of the innocent people. I have even stolen the show. I have forgotten the message that brought us here. That is how the Spirit moves. And once it comes, we have to make use of it. To give that message, which they have already programmed for you to hear today. And that was one reason why I have left the scene of the message and brought you to where you need to reason if you are going to church, that you have to use your brain. Uzodinma told you that God has forgiven him because he carried one big Bible that's bigger than his head. Because all of them knows there's nothing inside there. So that one is just a book to deceive you into believing that yes, there is God there. Because they have already covered your brain and everything in you with fear. Hey, no talk, oh, God is going to kill you. Habawa. So God couldn't kill Satan, whom he pushed down to us. And then he will stand one side, allowing us to fight the battle with Satan that we don't even know. Satan that who never committed anything with us. You have problem with Satan. You then push him down. You didn't kill him. Then I, the person who you created to come and fight your battle, is now the person you will kill. Because I said, God is not doing things right. One day, wisdom. Let us just listen to few lines about this Uzodinma saga. Then we'll round up, please. There's a few comments I'm going to take before we round up.
So he will still give account because he doesn't have immunity in the Senate. There's no immunity in the Senate.
I said, don't worry yourself. All of them will
No, we are worried. You want us to be worried about what is happening.
I said, why should you hope Uzodinma resign from his governorship and go for Senate?
Somebody that needs to answer that question now.
On his own,
he has the right.
He knows
there is nothing in the constitution that says or electoral law that he must not resign and he must not contest. As a matter of fact,
he should be happy. His name will be in the.
As a matter of fact, we should even praise him
for 7 months.
Having that courage to leave a plum of it for uncertainty.
It's for his own selfish interest.
Which politician is working for the people? They are always working for selfish interest.
All the records are there. He must tell us what happened in Imo State.
Okay, now
All right then.
you know the president said if you are interested in any political position, resign.
Exactly.
I think he should resign.
No, you can't tell the governor to do that. No, you can't tell the governor to do that.
He said Abu wanted to go. Tinubu said, don't go, serve out. He said, he went back, okay, I will not go. He went back and said, okay, I want to go. Tinubu said, go.
Already, Sharaf Adin is there.
As a matter of fact,
let me see how they.
now that they have collected these tickets, it's not even duty bound to resign immediately. He might resign days before. Hope, yes. He might resign days before the election in January.
Because he can't be the governor and be campaigning too.
He can campaign.
No, I think he might resign just before taking oath of office as senator.
Exactly.
Yes.
And that is after May 29th.
Now,
so he will be handling the office.
Where is the provision?
Elections will hold.
Yes.
That's an anomaly.
That's the constitution.
Where is the constitution?
That's the constitution.
In our laws, where is the provision for this thing you people are trying to put into my head now? Where is the provision in our laws?
Where is the provision that contravenes that? As a lawyer, what is the part?
There's no law.
But there is also no law that says you can't do this.
Exactly.
No. You don't.
So it's a lacuna.
Hold on.
My people, let them continue with their argument. The message has been passed. Hope is running away from his shadows. He received series of letters or countless of letters from the government of the day, which is USB, and also from Homeland Security, Biafra Defense Force. One day, also Bagoyo. But don't worry, I get away at T Junction. Moshenta, I actually orange. Let me just take up a few comments. This is how they will recruit criminal and bandit to your leaders and then force us to believe with them. Okay, he said, I love the way Barrister is able to contain all of the four in the studio defending hope and the buying that happens in Imo State and other parts of Biafra land. Alfonso said the hope Uzodinma must give account of the innumerable young men that were buried or disappeared under his watch in one way or the other. Resigning from Imo governorship to chase senatorial seat will not shield him from accountability that he must render. You get the point now? Yes, hope is the one that at the center of all these things. Let me know what you think at the comment section of this video. If you find it interesting, please share it. Okamma, I na agwa ntị ma ntị anụghị mgbe egbupụ isi ya na ntị esoro wee naba ka Chineke mezie okwu.